Do you know why I picked that song, Colin?
Why'd you pick that song, JP?
The title of it is Hear Me Now.
Oh, you're getting deep, aren't you? You're getting deep already.
Yeah, I am.
You know what? I'm going to start this show off with a bang. I have something that I need to get off my chest right now. I know everybody listening is ready for me to say this. I am furious. I cannot find a mug to put my coffee in. I want to make iced coffee, and I don't have any clean mugs.
Well, you should have washed one beforehand.
Such a suburban problem. I'm furious.
God damn you.
Listen, welcome to the Double Power Hour. That's JP. I'm Colin. Coming up on this show, an exclusive interview with the cold-hearted, slim, down 240-pound, cold-hearted player, Danny DeMonto. We're going to talk to Georgie Boy, a.k.a. George Blinn of Kentucky Bred, about UWA Elite versus the World Volume 2. JP,
so looking forward to that.
We are going to have a huge show. I know why a lot of people are listening in. We're going to get it out of the way now. I want to put a disclaimer up front. I don't care how mad I am. I don't care how mad JP is. We're not in the business of libel. We're not in the business of slander. So if you're coming here expecting us to put our asses on the line professionally on public radio, sorry.
Yep.
We're not going to say anything that isn't true. We're not going to say anything that isn't factual. We're going to stick in facts. I'm not going to sit here and run a man down because I'm better than that, and JP's better than that.
Exactly.
And we're not going to put ourselves in a position where you can look at us down the line and say, you know what? They sunk. JP and Colin sunk to a level. That's not what we do. That's not what we're here to do. Okay? We are going to elucidate a situation. We are going to bring several situations to light. We are going to deal in facts, what has happened, what we know. We are not going to slander anyone. We are not going to name call. We're not going to be children. We're going to say what we need to say. We're going to get in. We're going to get out. And to be honest, we're both optimistic, positive people. And once this is done, it's done. Agreed?
Yeah, I'm ready for it. Like when it's like Colin just said. I'm not here to disgrace the man. I think he's already done enough of that on his own. He doesn't need my help. But
well, be that as it may.
Yeah.
There is no point in a grown man mocking or bullying or taunting or poking fun at another grown man. Maybe somebody else likes to do that. That's not what we're about to do here. We're dealing with this in a professional manner. So, JP, this is your baby. I stand with JP. Floor is yours. I'll say what I need to say afterwards, but this is yours. So go. It's on you.
All right. So, here's the deal. Late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, SWF owner Rob Fiore, a.k.a. Rob Banner, posted a picture on my page, on my Facebook page. It was some, very large individual, looked like something that was a four-legged creature. Now, I would have never known about it had Danny DeMonto not screenshotted it and tagged me in it.
Well, to be fair, I may have gotten to it first.
Well, either one of you guys,
All right, I just don't look. I'm not trying to take credit. I just don't want Danny or anybody else to feel like they're getting thrown under the bus. So I have no problem taking responsibility for that. But anyway, a number of people saw it. So it's not like one or the other of us wouldn't have done it. If Danny had seen it and he wanted to do it, he sure as hell would have done it. He's not the kind of man to stay quiet about bullying. But continue.
All right, so Danny tagged me in it, And 5:15 yesterday morning, I wake up because I have to go to the bathroom. I come back from the
Valid.
bathroom. I look at my phone, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" I unlock my phone, and I see everything. I'm like, "Who in the fuck does he think he is?" And this has taken a life of its own. Like, people, wrestlers from Arizona, friends from California, Oregon, like all across the West Coast, even a company in Canada has put something up on their Facebook page. The response that I've gotten from this is unbelievable. And in case you all don't know who I am, allow me to introduce myself. My name is John Mayer. I'm a large individual. At one point in time, I weighed over 500 pounds. I'm currently around the 400-pound mark. Over the last 9 months, I've been busting my ass, going to the gym, changed my life around. And Rob and myself, we used to throw like playful jabs back and forth at each other. Did what Rob posted? Did I think he did it on purpose to maliciously hurt me? Absolutely not. Did it hurt? Absolutely. And the point of the matter is this. I've been dealing with your company for the last year, being your show sponsor, but you would have never have known that because you never talk about us. Oh, wait. At the last show, you put our logo on the poster, and which, by the way, for the record, I tried to back out of, but I couldn't. They wouldn't let me.
Now, what happened there?
I have to remember back, but Rob had posted some things, and it's like they weren't like they didn't put our links to anything in there. We had made shirts that we were gonna donate the proceeds to the American Cancer Society, but things just something turned. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I went off and I said I wish to withdraw the Nerdport Network from this show. He sends me this nasty ass message and says, if you want to get your money, contact my main guy. I'm not going to name names.
Right.
I messaged him.
Did you get your money?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Now, that was for last Friday's show, correct?
Yes, sir.
The Survivor Slam show, which, based on its poster, was donating 100% of its proceeds to the American Cancer Society.
That is correct.
Now, that's where I come in. For those of you who don't know, I run a company called CTW, Change the World Wrestling. It is not a big company. I don't consider myself a promoter by any means. I don't consider myself a saint or an angel or anything amazing. I don't. I'm just a guy who has a friend that I love dearly that has cystic fibrosis, and I wanted to do something for him. Anybody else in my shoes would have done the same thing. That's not why I'm here. But when somebody else puts on a charity show, I don't instantly get suspicious. I think, this is awesome. Somebody else is picking up and doing a charity show and raising money. So I've seen other shows. Jersey Premier Championship Wrestling. I'll shout them out. Jeff Layton, Kyle Cutts did 2 or 3 charity shows last year, raised money. Food drive. One of the reasons I love UWA Elite so much, Dave Swan has done Make-A-Wish fundraisers, has done fundraisers for the DeSarno family of Sayreville who lost their home in a fire I think 2 Christmases ago. He's done charity work for Toys for Tots. And so I see that there's a cancer show coming up, and I said, great. And I had every intention of going to the show. I got a message from someone who was semi-involved, who, again, shall remain nameless. I'm not in the business of throwing under people a bus and naming names, and saying, funny thing, the show's in 2 weeks, and I just got a random message from one of the people involved saying, hey, man, do you have any contacts at the American Cancer Society? Because I need to get in touch with them. And my red flag antenna goes up and says, wait a minute, you've been advertising this show for 2 months as being for the American Cancer Society. Shouldn't you have a contact there already? Because you've been putting their logo and their name on your stuff. So, full disclosure, I called the American Cancer Society. I did. I'm not going to put that on anybody else. They have no idea who SWF is. They have no idea who Rob Fury is, Rob Banner, whatever. I called the office in North Brunswick. They had no record of the show. They directed me to the Cedar Knolls office, where apparently the show was being handled. They have no record of the show ever happening or any relation, and no donation has ever been made. Now, I'm not saying that the donation isn't going to be made in the future. I'm just hoping that it is going to be made in the future, because I know a lot of wrestlers who worked for free on that show because it was a charity show. I know the ring was donated at a very reduced price because it was a charity show. I know that there are people like Grimm's Toy Show who have a YouTube channel that gets hundreds of thousands of viewers per video who were advertising the event because it was a charity show. I know people like John Mayer and Ronnie and Chino at the Nerdport Network who donated their own money, not their business's money, their own personal money, and were told they couldn't get it back because it was a charity show. And there's been no donation to charity. I don't care. Do you understand? I don't care. I got nothing in this except that I want to see money go to the charity. That's it. I'm not trying to run down a man's reputation. I'm not trying to kill a company. And this isn't sour grapes. I haven't said anything untrue. I made the call at 3:09 this afternoon. Spoke to a woman named Joan at the Cedar Knolls office who handles every check that comes through New Jersey and goes to get processed as a donation for the American Cancer Society. Every single check. If she had seen it, she would have told me, but she's never seen it. She handles all the cash that comes through as a donation. She's never received cash from that LLC or that individual. That's what I know. All I'm saying is make the donation. You said you're going to make a donation? Make a donation, because I guarantee you every person in that crowd that night was there, at least in part, because they thought their money was going to cancer research. And it didn't. At least not yet. I don't care. Like I said, I don't want anybody giving them crap. This isn't about anything. I'm not calling him names. Maybe he intends to go tomorrow. Maybe his bank, for some reason, was closed the last 5 days for some. Maybe his bank's closed on Cinco de Mayo, JP. I don't know.
Maybe. But
maybe. I don't know.
Long story short about it, I don't stand with the SWF anymore. I'm done doing business with them. I'm done going to their shows. What I want you all to do, if you guys want to go to their shows, by all means.
Yeah. We're not telling anybody not to go. We're not telling anybody not to support. I'm not saying that good or bad people are there. I'm not saying that he hasn't done wonderful things in the past or will do wonderful things in the future. I have nothing negative to say about him as an individual because I don't know the man that well. It's not my right or my place, and it's not John's either.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, take things at face value. These are facts. I'm sure that at some point, at least I would hope, that there's going to be an actual discussion about this and that there is not just a bunch of name calling and words and accusations being thrown around. I mean, look, I'm going to do the Eminem thing from 8 Mile. What can you possibly say about me? I'm a gay guy. I ran 4 charity shows last year. One of them was an abject failure. 23 people came to the show, and I lost money. I will say this. I lost a couple $100 at that show. But every dude got paid exactly what I told him he was going to get paid. And the charity got money. Because that's how you operate. So come up with something. If you got something to throw at me, you want to put a picture of a big gay dude up on Facebook and tag me in it, come on now. Come on now. Seriously. I'll put myself in front of that firing squad. I don't give a shit. I really don't. But I would hope that we could have a conversation like men about this. I really do. Because at the end of the day, John's a big boy. He's a grown-ass man. Mm-hmm. And you know what? It sucks being bullied. He's a grown man, and he's got to deal with a playground insult from a bully. After he has busted his ass for over a year, losing over 100 pounds.
Almost a year. I'm going to have to correct you there.
Okay. So the man's lost 100 pounds in under a year. Are you kidding me? We're going to talk to Danny DeMonto in a second, who has dropped over 100 pounds very recently as well. That takes so much effort and dedication and commitment. I couldn't be prouder of my co-host. You shouldn't have to deal with playground insults from a bully, especially one who apparently, as of this moment, hasn't kept his word to making a donation at a charity show that he advertised. What's interesting is that I was informed by the representative at the American Cancer Society that I wasn't the first person who had called to inquire about the veracity of that show. So don't come jumping down my throat, because I am not the first one who thought something was up. Mm. Make the donation. Make the donation, and all will be right with the world as far as I'm concerned. I got nothing else to say about it.
Now, I'm going to make it real short, real sweet. To everybody that supported me, I say thank you. Keep supporting me, and go support independent wrestling as well. Now, on to part 2.
Hell yeah.
I'd like to welcome our first very special guest. This man, like Colin said, has lost over 100 pounds himself, just like me. This man is an inspiration to me, and this man yesterday went above and beyond what I would have ever imagined, and this man is getting a very public thank you tonight, so I'm bringing this man on right now. Please welcome the cold-hearted player, Danny DeMonto. Danny, what's going on, man?
Show, huh? We're all locked in now.
We're locked in.
Yeah, we are all locked in.
All right, Colin,
I'll tell you what.
Are you riled up already?
We've been riled up. I was riled up at birth. I was.
Yeah, but I just don't know how much you've done so far. What kind of damage have you done? Did you explain everything?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and we kept it professional. We kept it, we kept it on a 1-2.
Oh, okay. Up until this point now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But listen,
right,
I want to. The first thing that I want to do is just publicly congratulate you, man, and not on what you think. I mean, a lot of people are coming out of the woodwork and saying, awesome that you've lost the weight, and we'll get to that in a second. That's more of a conversation with JP, who's an expert in weight loss as well. I want to congratulate you on the in-ring work you've been doing lately. I mean, you've been a mainstay, a real mainstay, from Queens to Jersey to all over for well over a decade now. But, I mean, your work lately at GCW making the comeback, at the JAP show last weekend. You're looking as good as ever, man. How do you feel in there?
I feel better than ever, man. Dropping the extra weight, obviously was the only thing really holding me back. And JP, I'm proud of you, man. You still got a ways to go, but we're all behind you, and we're probably behind you more than ever now. So, you're definitely gonna reach to where I got to. It's just gonna take you a little longer, but you're gonna do it.
It is, and first and foremost, Danny, I want to say thank you for everything that you did yesterday.
No problem.
Not only bringing this to my attention because it was already deleted by the time I woke up, but also
I gotta ask Colin to also get a little bit of credit there too, because I probably wouldn't have seen the post if Colin didn't show it to me, because Rob Fury's a little bit he's very quick to post something, but then when he realizes he's screwed up, he'll take it down within a couple of minutes. And it was 2:00 in the morning, and Colin said to me, I'll remember this like it was yesterday. Colin goes, "Fuck Rob Fury," and I feel the exact same way. Fuck Rob Fury. And,
hey man, well listen, 2 a.m. Be that as it may, 2 a.m. is my 9 p.m. I'm awake, but my thing was I know how personal that was to you, Dan. Like, I mean, everybody's got their journey. Like, everybody's had their demon to battle. You know what I'm saying? And I followed JP's, and I've followed yours. Very closely.
I explained this to somebody today. I said this was the perfect story to be told. It's the former fat guy that lost all the weight, that is obviously has a big mouth, to defend the current fat guy that's trying to lose weight by the current big mouth fat guy that doesn't know how to look in the mirror and see that he's not too thin himself. And I had no problem stepping up and being the forefront of this whole entire conversation, because there's going to be a lot more people paying attention to it if I speak a lot more bluntly than, say, if JP just stands up for himself, because there's a lot more people paying attention to a post that I put up than JP's. So I knew that JP probably wasn't going to go to the extent that I would, because I'm a little bit more ruthless than JP.
Yes.
And I feel that Rob Fury is the cancer that he's pretending to have, and he has to be eliminated. He needs to be cut out of the New Jersey scene. And my biggest issue with Rob Fury, other than he's going to try to bully somebody like JP, is that his shows are fucking terrible. And for a company like GCW to go into a town after him and try to put on a quality product, it's very difficult, because everybody lumps wrestling together. And if you go to one of Rob Fury's shows, most likely you're going to have a bad taste in your mouth because of the product that he puts on. It's terrible. It's awful. I'll shit on every single person on that show, and if somebody has a problem with it, they can come to me. And if they don't see a problem with being in the locker room that they're in, then they're just as delusional as the next jabron that thinks that they're a professional wrestler with pleather pants on.
So, Danny, let me ask you something. What inspired you to drop the weight?
My biggest inspiration was obviously my girlfriend Jamie. She lost 120 pounds herself, the exact same route I did. I watched the entire process go down, and I still, to this day, if I didn't have her in my life, I'd probably either be dead or close to 400 pounds, because I just kept eating and eating and eating and eating and eating, and I ate whatever I wanted, was reckless about it, didn't want to go to the gym anymore, didn't even want to try. And one day she looked me dead in my face and said, "Danny, I don't want you to be like this anymore. I want you to be the person that I fell in love with again." And after that conversation, I had a conversation with Fat Frank a couple of days later, and I explained to him what I wanted to do. And him being an avid eater himself, he said what he had to say. And about a month later, he passed away, and I realized I had to take the steps that I had to do in order to lose the weight and live a full life, because I definitely want to live a full life. I want to be able to do what I want to do in a professional wrestling ring without any limitations, and the weight was starting to limit me, and I wasn't able to do what I used to be able to do, but now I'm able to do more than I've ever been able to do, and then some. And I'm still holding it back a little bit. I've come back a little bit slowly every single show, but I still have a lot left in the tank. And I wish that I could have a conversation with every single person like JP and explain to them my story, because it's got to motivate anybody out there to lose weight. You know, I dropped 139 pounds. Is it? Yeah, 139 pounds since November 15th.
That's
incredible.
fucking awesome. That's
incredible.
My knees feel great.
Yeah.
But,
and I saw you posted today that that you hit one of your goal weights, which was 240. You look insane, dude. You look in great shape. I mean, it's not just, you haven't just like starved yourself. You've obviously eaten right and gone to the gym and you know, gotten yourself back right. That's ridiculous. Can you remember the last time, not to be crude, but like I'm saying, this is a huge step. When was the last time you were 240?
I probably didn't have hair on my balls yet.
Crazy.
Hey,
so listen.
Colin.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Colin. Should we drop a hint of what we want to do, or should we still dot some I's and cross some T's?
You know what? Let's. I'm gonna, like I said, you do what you do. I will follow your lead. Let's just say that we got something lined up.
Yeah,
and Danny is absolutely the spearhead. I am falling in line with it, but let's just put it this way: there's a lot of guys who like to. There's a lot of guys who like to talk a big game. Danny backs it up.
And
Danny puts his money where his mouth is.
Let's put it out there that we are going to make good on the American Cancer Society, and we will be doing some work with them in the future.
Done and done.
Yeah. Awesome.
So there you go. And
they will be getting money donated to them from the professional wrestling business, and it's going to be done the correct way.
Done and done. And I will say publicly that was Danny's spearhead and idea, and I'm more than happy to support. Do whatever I can.
It was your idea, Colin. We're going to give you full credit for it because you brought it to me. I just brought it to life.
Well, whichever, but couldn't have been done without you. So, Mutual Appreciation Society, everybody's licking each other's asses today. Fantastic. But here's what I want to talk about a little bit as far as how did it feel to go back to Bayonne? It wasn't Charity Hall for JAP, but it looked like a great venue. How did it feel to bring JAP back to that area of Jersey? Did it feel like going home a little bit?
Absolutely. I mean, Jersey All-Pro always still feels like it's going home, no matter if it's in Bayonne, if it's in Barnegat, if it's in, Rahway, no matter where it is. It always feels like it's going home. But even just crossing into Bayonne, driving up and down those blocks, because if anybody's from New Jersey, they know that Bayonne kind of has its own little feel to it. Just to be able to be in a ring with Frank's kid at the end of my match.
That's crazy.
No, it was like looking in a mirror, and I couldn't have been happier to be there. And I got.
I'll tell you what. The first time that he cut a promo 2 JAP shows ago, I was like, I closed my eyes and I'm like, this is the same dude. This is the same guy.
I was flying at ringside, weighing 379 pounds.
Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. I mean, the kid's I can't even call him a kid. He's a grown-ass man. He's got something special to him.
He's 17. He's 17. He's still a kid. Believe me. Trust me. I don't want to feel old. I remember that kid running around with a big in his mouth. But let me do a quick little plug. June 5th, we return to the Game Changer World for the Tournament of Survival. Zandig's return to professional wrestling. Another thing that I was able to beat DJ Hyde to, which made me a very happy person because he sucks at life.
Oh man! But you got Zandig versus Joey Janela. Am I correct?
Bad boy Joey Janela. It's the bad man versus the bad boy.
Now I got to tell you, I know Janela as I know Janela. Oh, is this the match where Joey Janela puts himself in the hospital?
This might be the match that Joey stays in the hospital for a very, very long time. Zandig keeps talking about this really big ladder, and there's a really big roof.
Oh my God! My God! It is going to be the summer of the death match. I mean, between several promotions.
this might be Joey's retirement tour, and he hasn't even started it yet.
That's brutal. Oh my God, how will Toronto deal with it? I'm not sure.
Oh,
so listen,
speaking
of
Joey's
GC,
over in Canada.
Oh my God, he's huge. Seriously. Here's my thought. You made your return to GCW. I know because one of my closest friends, Brandon Kirk, I think still has your handprint through his chest to his back.
Oh yeah, I caved in Brandon Kirk's chest really bad, and I plan on caving in Brandon Kirk's chest really bad again on June 3rd, May 21st, and May 22nd because his chest is just so beefy and meaty. I just want to put my handprint all over it.
But here's my question. You could have come back. You could have tagged with just about anybody. We do this. We got this running gag here where we just put over Steve Scott for no reason.
Well, I do the same exact thing.
Why Steve Scott? Why'd you choose Steve Scott? What is it about him as a tag partner that you like?
You don't. I guess you don't really know that history either, huh? Do you know?
Look, I'm just asking you to fill in the people.
Oh, okay, I'll fill in everybody. Steve Scott's favorite independent wrestler before he was a wrestler, the cold-hearted player. I have pictures for days of Steve Scott with oak tag signs with his own T-shirt on, standing in the front row, holding up signs that say Danny DeMonto with hearts on them. I think he might have even had a crush on me. But
okay, so
I always looked at him as like a child. I always looked at Steve Scott as like my child, even when he first started wrestling. He was training under Jay Lethal, but you know, I was definitely helping him with the other parts of the professional wrestling business, and I've always looked out for him since day one. And when he got injured a year and a half ago, I told him, once you're better and I'm better, we're going to run with this for a little while and see how far it goes. And we've only teamed once, and it was in GCW, but we have 6 outstanding tag team bookings in 6 different companies already.
Wow.
So it's going to start picking up a little bit.
That's sick. I love it. What which JAP fanboy? Which JAP fanboy crush was more severe? Was Steve Scott's fanboy crush on you, or Brandon Hall's on Arcadia? Which one was worse?
Brandon Hall's on Arcadia. There should be a restraining order. There should definitely be a restraining order. Brandon Hall, Arcadia.
He's going to hate me for it, but seriously, it's like every old JAP clip that I see, he's just like reaching over the guardrail, like you ever see like slow motion of like the guy and the girl running, reaching for each other in the field? That's what
this is what you need. This is what you need to watch. You need to watch Danny DeMonto versus Kenny Omega, and fast forward to probably like the last 5 minutes. I don't want you to watch the match. I'm not putting over the match. I'm putting over him in the front row with the bra hanging off of his head, jumping up and down constantly without any type of control whatsoever as a human being. All he kept doing was jumping up and down and acting like the Ultimate Warrior with the guardrail. And he steals the show. Like, there's a match going on in the ring, but you just got to watch Brandon Hall during the Kenny Omega, Danny DeMonto Jersey All-Pro show.
Oh, my God.
So guys, let me wrap this up on my end because I promised Jamie that I would go eat dinner with her right now. I'm going to eat probably a fourth of what you guys would eat for dinner, but I'm going to enjoy this after.
Hey, man, you're reaping the benefits of it, though. So tell us where we're going to see Danny DeMonto next. Where can fans go see you?
Yeah.
This Saturday, I'm wrestling for FTW in Queens against Steve Scott.
Ooh, I like it.
I get to beat him up for 12 minutes and get paid to do it.
Life's
and
so
then
fun.
take a selfie with him after the match.
Absolutely, with his phone, and then shove it up his ass.
Colin, it's fine. I'm sure Sonny Kiss will still smell it afterwards. It'll be fine.
And then he could stick it in your mouth.
Ah, man. You know, it depends. Is it a weekend? Because I only get down like that on the weekends.
Only on weekends you go ass to mouth with a cell phone, right?
Hey, man. you know, we get lonely sometimes. Things happen. We don't talk about it.
I love you, Colin. AP, keep doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you, Danny.
Hey,
and I
Danny,
will
great to
see you
talk
next
to you.
Friday.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm going to be out of here. Go do what you got to do. And Rob Fury, you can lick my ass because you're probably going to get eliminated if you want to do it or not.
Oh, my God.
Goodbye. Bye,
well,
Danny.
we promised a hell of an interview with one of the most controversial men in professional wrestling, and there it was. Cold-hearted player Danny DeMonto. JP, instant reaction, thoughts?
That's why I love that man even more. So we actually now have a little extra time. We have an extra 20 minutes because I told Georgie to call in at and my phone. So here's what I'm going to do.
Do it.
I'm going to open the phone lines.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to open the phone lines, and we're going to talk wrestling. We're going to talk independent wrestling. I want to hear from you guys what your favorite independent company is, what makes you want to go to this company, and why should we as fans go there. So I'm going to throw this up on my Facebook.
Give me the number.
The phone number is
What's the number to
If
call?
you're listening right now, if you want to call in, the number is 323-870-4022. And once I'm done typing this, I'm going to talk about my favorite companies.
Okay, cool. So the phone lines are open, and somebody better call, otherwise we're going to sound like lonely pieces of shit.
Yeah. I got a feeling people are going to call. But now, for me personally,
I know, to be fair, JP, I know some people have been letting me know that there are some audio playback, live audio issues right now.
Yeah,
so some people are having a problem hearing us. But again, the number to call in if you want to talk to us for the next 20 to 25 minutes on the open phone lines of the Double Power Hour featuring JP and Colin, 323-870-4022. If you want some feedback on what we've talked about already, about Danny DeMonto's interview, GCW, Jersey All-Pro, the upcoming UWA Elite Show, or any independent promotion in North America or beyond, give us a call and we will talk about it. JP, why don't you give me while we're waiting?
We already have a caller.
Oh, son of a bitch. Oh,
All right.
good.
Area code 551. Welcome to the Power Hour. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, John, it's David Potter. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man?
Hey, so I was listening to the show, and before I started my podcast, I wanted to tell you guys are doing awesome. Just want to wish you the best with this podcast. And I said I was going to call it. So you're doing amazing, John. You're an amazing guy, and I just wanted to call and tell you that. So I'm not going to say what my favorite promotion is, but I just want to say personally that you are an amazing guy. So I just want to say that. And keep doing you.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're the man.
You don't have to talk about your favorite company. It's all, every company is your favorite company, right?
Pretty much. I mean, besides New Japan Pro Wrestling, I mean, I really like watching the independents, especially, any promotion you put wrestling in front of me, I'm going to watch it. So, like, any promotion, pretty much keeping the indie scene alive. And speaking of which, you're a big part of keeping the indie scene alive, and you're a big part of contributing to the indie scene. So, you're kudos to you, man. You're doing a great job. So, you put wrestling in front of me, I'm going to watch it. But, like, you're doing such an incredible job. And especially with this podcast, amazing. So just want to give you your shout out. No problem, man.
If you want to plug anything real quick, go for it.
Nope, don't want to plug shit. I have my podcast going on, but I don't even want to plug it. I kind of want to just call and tell how wonderful you are. So I don't want to plug anything. So this was just a call to tell you how great you are. So have a good show, guys. I'm listening in. You guys are doing incredible. So I'm not plugging dick. Have a good night, John.
All right. Take care.
Right,
thank God he's not plugging dick. That would hurt. That was an awesome phone call.
Yes.
Is that what praise feels like? I've never heard it.
I don't know, but
that what validation is. I feel like I need to call.
Right
I feel like I need to call my grandfather and just be like, "Yo, do you still love me? Do you?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, to the people that are in the call queue, if you wish to come on air, hit the number 1. That will in turn that'll give me a prompt on my screen. And we have another one.
Yeah.
Area
Let's do
code
it.
520. Welcome to the Power Hour. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Actually, JP, you know me. I posted on your timeline yesterday. I'm Chad Hockley.
Chad, what's going on, man?
Not much. I've been listening, and as you know, I've been messaging with you all day. And first, I just want to say how proud I am of you for the way you've been handling this, JP. I haven't seen a lot of people handle those situations the way you have. So kudos to you and kudos to this show. I caught up on a little bit of it earlier today. While I was out doing my thing. And if I may give my input on the whole thing, if that's okay.
Go ahead. I do have.
Well, it's as a
definitely got
wrestler's
a couple
perspective.
You, by all means.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is as a wrestler's perspective. I just want to say that I think what happened was wrong. There's a time for stuff like that, and a time where it's not okay. You had a wrestling show, all bets are off between fan and wrestler. When you're not at a show and you're on Facebook outside the shows, there is a line that is drawn, and you do not cross it. As someone with a weight problem myself, I'm severely underweight. You don't attack somebody's weight outside of the show because that's where not all bets are off outside of a show, and that's not conduct of a professional, especially with what I've been hearing also on this podcast. Not conduct of a professional. That's what makes the business look bad. And, wrestlers like myself, it hurts our reputation because we're seen in a negative light, and I don't like that. But I like how you're trying to keep the business and all of us in the positive light and hold one individual to his actions and not blame the entire industry. For that, I want to thank you guys.
Amen. Well said.
And, I'll be plugging something real quick here. I'm a wrestler in Arizona, High Impact Wrestling down here in Tucson, Arizona. We've been around for the better part of 15 years now. We still run strong. We're on Facebook, High Impact Wrestling. There's one make sure it's a Tucson one, because there is one up in Canada. Now we bust our asses. We're not your typical looking wrestlers, but we do bust our asses to put on the best show possible for everybody that comes to see us. There's also up in Phoenix, Arizona Wrestling Federation. I don't wrestle for them. We got some lucha promotions in Phoenix, Lucha Libre Boz, where I do make the occasional appearance. Lucha Libre Poor, that's another company up there. All those guys are worth checking out because the wrestling scene in Arizona may not be the greatest, but we put on the best that we can, and we never disappoint.
And I'll tell you what, it's not about good, bad, or indifferent. It's about just having that passion for the business. It really is. And much respect to you and the whole state of Arizona, calling in with such a great perspective. I appreciate you. I really do.
Definitely much appreciation. And I actually just liked the High Impact Wrestling page, the one in Arizona. So I will start following you guys and see what's going on there.
That's definitely much appreciated from both of you guys, and I guarantee I'll be calling in. I'll probably be calling in regularly, and or at least listen to your show regularly. And like I said, John, I can't express how much respect I have for you for the way you've handled this. I have seen things go much more awry and drama for like years, mudslinging, slandering. You guys are the epitome of professionals on a podcast.
Well, thank you.
I appreciate
that
very
much.
Definitely, and I'll explain it to you why the way I'm doing it the way I am. If I turn it into if I were to spend 2 hours just dropping bombs on this guy, I become him, and that's not me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's funny, JP, how small, how tight knit the world is. Even though independent wrestlers may feel like they're very spread out. For example, High Impact Wrestling from Tucson, Arizona, which is the home of UWA Elite Champion Hedges, which is the show I'm doing commentary on this Saturday. So, I mean, it's a small world, it really is. So it's very cool. And to be honest, Chad, like, as much as you could compliment us, it means twice as much to us that you're actually taking time out of your day to listen to what two random guys from Jersey have to say. So the appreciation I have for you is massive. Thank you very much.
Hey, it's not a problem. We, again, from the perspective of somebody who's an in-ring performer, the business doesn't survive without the fans. And of course, I'm not calling you guys marks. I hate that. I think that's a very condescending word, personally. But without fans and fans who do podcasts, because not every guy that does a podcast is a wrestler. If you guys are doing podcasts and plugging the wrestling world, we rely on things like that. And for us to turn around and doing what happened to JP, that takes away the fans and that takes away the love of the product. And hey, don't bother with it. We survive on what you guys do. So, the least I can do to give back is call into you guys' podcast, express my respect and appreciation for you guys as much as you give us. Because, for as much passion and everything you guys give the wrestlers, we need to give at least twice as much back. Because we can't survive without the fans.
Most
Very
definitely.
true. Well, Chad, thank you so much for calling in. We could talk to you for an hour. We got a couple more people that we want to get to before the 8 o'clock hour, before we hit a commercial. Thank you so much. Shout out to Arizona. Shout out to High Impact Wrestling in Tucson.
Thank
Awesome.
you, and that is not a problem. I'll maybe talk to you later about maybe coming on another time for an interview.
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds cool.
We could definitely get that in the works, but we'll definitely talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk later. You get to the other callers. I'm gonna bounce.
All right, take care, Charlie.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Cool. Awesome. So who's next on the line here?
All right.
Power Hour.
All right, next one is going to be a 732 number. I'm going to hit the button.
Oh God, this could be anybody we know.
Yeah, I know.
No, this is a friend of JP's from his WrestlePro family. This is John.
Oh, cool.
So,
That's right.
Cool. What's going on?
A member of your many family members that you have that have your back, that have you no matter what. This guy wanted to try something, he'd have to go through all of us.
And this is what I've been trying to tell JP since this happened for the last couple of days. This isn't a negative thing that happened. This is just a reinforcement of how loved my co-host is.
exactly.
Like, am I wrong?
No,
you're not wrong.
Seriously, one person says something negative, 350, 400 people across the country and up in Canada have my boy's back. I feel great about it. I really do.
I actually found out about it through another member of the group, Michael Camp, messaged me and told me, and when I went on, I was furious. I wanted to light this guy up big time.
I will tell you, I mean, I have not been out since the brand switch over to WrestlePro, but I've heard good things. How'd you guys enjoy the last show that went up?
I loved it.
Fantastic.
Good. I will say I have a good, yeah. I mean, working relationship. I'm a name dropper extraordinaire. I've had the pleasure of working with Matt McIntosh several times in the past, and I'm going to be calling a match of his at UWA Elite versus the World on Saturday. Say what you want about him being kind of villainous in the ring, class act of a dude, and I love his work. So, great representative. I know that the belt just transitioned over in WrestlePro, but I thought he was a great representative of the company while he had it.
Definitely.
He is. Yeah, Anthony Bowens is going to be a great champion, too. Don't get me wrong.
I agree.
I'm
I
wearing
agree.
his shirt now, by the way.
What's that? Are you marking for him, JP? Just kidding.
But, yeah, there's a lot of great talent over at WrestlePro. I'm glad to see there's room for everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've said. Like, no room for beef and for negative talk and all that, and JP feels the same way, and I'm sure you do, too. There's room for everybody, especially out here. You got so many talented workers that, you got to provide them with places to work. So, more power to places that can run and run well and do it in a positive way.
JP, I don't know. How many people would you say were in the building on Saturday? Would you say about a couple hundred?
I'd say probably like 500-600.
Because normally, and JP will attest to this, there was, I think, two other shows. I think JP was running that night and somebody else was running that night. I think if WrestlePro was the only show that night, that building would have been sold out to the rafters. Am I right or am I wrong?
Maybe not sold out, but there would have been probably like 1,100 people easy.
I think the thing of it is that, like I said, you had two massive promotions running that night. So, I mean, a lot of fans had to make a choice when they usually don't have to make a choice. You know, but I think it's great. I think that the competition creates a better product. So I think it's great.
And now,
and I mean, think about it. We're the Indies in Jersey. The Indies in Jersey are in a place where two promotions that big can run within an hour of each other on the same night and put out a high quality product.
yeah.
I mean, how cool is that? This is the indie world that we live in now, and I think it's awesome.
I mean, I used to go to, before I discovered WrestlePro, when it was still Pro Wrestling Syndicate, I used to live at the JAP shows. I knew Frank many, many, many years. I had many great conversations, hung out with him, great guy, miss him terribly. But it's like, I want to see all of the promotions maybe come together in like a mega show type of thing, you know, like they used to have in the old 80s, you know, with like super clashes and stuff like that, you know, have an all-day event where all these promotions showcase all their talent to a wide array of people. So people like, hey, I've never heard of that promotion. I think I'll check them out next time they're in town. Put
I got a
everybody's
show
name
for
on
you.
the map.
I have a show for you. I want you to look it up on Facebook. Friend Matt Tremont put on a South Jersey WrestleFest last year. He's putting on a second one this year. Look up WrestleFest 2. It's sponsored, I believe, by WrestleDuel. And there's already 8 promotions signed. Missouri, Tennessee, Virginia, North Carolina, New Jersey. It's going to be massive. I mean, last year there were a ton of promotions. CTW was lucky enough to be there. On Point was at that show. Interspecies was at that show. Rockstar Pro, just NYWC, Ace, just a ton of great promotions were on that card. And there's going to be even more this year. It's going to be unbelievable. So I know that's kind of an all-star event. It's unbelievable, and it costs no more than a regular indie show. It really, like, the way that Matt does it is unbelievable. I can't say enough about it. I was lucky enough, like I said, to have a match slot on that show last year, and CTW did Kyle the Beast versus Rude Boy Riley, which I loved. I mean, Janela versus Cannonball happened last year. Ron Mathis versus Nate Wings. Flawless and Lawless versus Stockade and Joe Gacy happened last year. It was a Fluffy versus Kai Katana. DJ Hyde versus Leo Rush. And people were getting in the door for $15 to see this show last year. It was unbelievable.
Awesome. That's something I'll definitely have to check out. And if not, I'm sure JP will hit me up with all the details on that. But I'm going to go because I know you got other people. But I just wanted to give my support out to JP like he always knows. We always got his back. We're all a family together. When we go to the shows, we all sit together.
Yep.
So much support to you, my brother. You ever need us, we're here.
Thank you, John, so very much. And I will see you in a couple weeks at WrestlePro versus Global Force.
I probably won't be at that show. I'll be away that weekend, but I'll be there in spirit, trust me.
I hear you there. All right, John, I'll talk to you, man.
All right, later.
All right, bye.
Awesome. Well, thanks to all our phone callers who've called in. I think we have to cut the line here so we can get to 8 o'clock. Am I right?
Yeah, we're going to cut the line on what we're going to do is we're going to go to break.
Sound good.
And then after that, we're going to set up for hour 2, where we're going to talk UWA. First half hour, we'll have Georgie Boy. And then the second hour, I'll give my predictions. Well, so obviously, Colin, you have to be impartial.
Yeah, you know that in a commentary position, I can't, like, I don't want to be in a position where I got to, like, compromise myself, but I will do the very best I can to give you as much insight as humanly possible for what I think should be one of the best indie wrestling events in New Jersey this year.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to go to break, and we will be back in probably about 2 minutes or so. Well, that was awkward.
Huh. Yeah, I guess what was that? That was Finn Balor playing football? Question mark.
American football, because don't forget he's from
American.
he's from overseas, so his football is soccer. Okay, so real quick, before I did just talk to George, and he's just taking care of a couple things, and he'll be on. But I was pulling up the card, and I saw the thing for the UWA birthday party. Now, instead of having a party at South River at the church where we get the matches and whatnot, why can't you guys just go? Why can't we all just go somewhere, drink some beer, and play retro video games?
Well, that's it's a family-friendly birthday party offer thing. McGillicuddy, Johnson, Jackson, whatever. I was kind of stuttering, so I just trailed it off with last names that are pretty random. But listen, the UWA Elite Birthday Bash is a real thing.
Yes.
For wrestling fans of all ages, we don't have to do it at South River. We can come to your house, set up the ring in the backyard. The stars will come. We can go to the event hall where your birthday is being held, set up the ring, have a show. You will get the actual UWA Elite All-Stars. You will get the actual guys at your birthday.
Can Bose come?
Yeah. Yeah, Bose is wretched, but he does like birthdays.
Oh, so afterwards we can all have cake.
Yes. I have a feeling based on the match that he's going to be wrestling on Saturday, Bose is going to have a face full of cake. But that's another story.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. All right.
Oh, man. So let's talk about this. If you want to, first of all, if you do have an interest in a UWA Elite Birthday Bash, private wrestling show for you and your friends and family, or for your kid or whoever, just check out UWA Elite Birthday Bash. It's on Facebook, and we'll give you more information. Talk to Dave Swan. Be more than happy to do it. But this Saturday, May the 7th, UWA Elite versus the World, Volume 2. Last year's show was enormous. JP, I don't know if were you at last year's show?
No, the first UWA show I went to was the Last Breath in November.
Oh, okay, great. All right, so the last year's event was pretty enormous. The Best of 5 series was as follows. Brian Brass and Nicholas Kay took on Scumbag Nation, Rude Boy Riley and Logan Black. Latin Dragon took on Sean Damage McNellis. El Murcielago Rojo, who was the luchador on our roster for a while, took on Chainsaw Joe Gacy. Joey Adams took on Mark Quinn in one of the matches that ended up being a Match of the Year candidate in the company. It was unbelievable. And the main event of the Best of 5 was Arcadia versus Gran Akuma, which was tremendous. That all being said, I think this year's Best of 5 is better. Hard to top it, but I think this year's Best of 5 is better, and I think the card around it is just spectacular. So where do you want to start, JP?
Well,
where do you, as a fan, want to start?
Well, I'm working on getting Georgie on here.
Okay.
So, just bear with me here 1 second.
Well, no problem. While he's trying to get Georgie on the line, by the way, you can go to UWAElite.com and get discount tickets and family 4-packs, 4 for $50 instead of 4 for $80 at the door. There's no reason why you shouldn't do that. If you're bringing a crew with you, save $30. It's ridiculous. Do it.
All right, and now I'm going to bring our second guest of the evening on from Kentucky bred. Please welcome Georgie Boy.
George.
Georgie.
JP, you're like the world's worst magician. You're like, ta-da,
Hello?
and nothing's there.
Georgie! There, I got him.
George!
Did it work? Yeah, I hear
I have you on two lines because I interrupted a call. It's stupid. Never mind. Hi. How are you?
George, what's going on, man?
Listen, we don't get cell phone stuff down in Moonshine Creek. You know, we kind of use signals and smoke and all that stuff. So.
I hear you. See, this is what happens. Whenever I call a Kentucky Bred match, I slip into a really bad Southern accent. And there's no disrespect meant to you, Georgie. There's none. But, I sit here and I listen to you and I start to drip into it, and then before you know it, I sound like I'm insulting y'all, but I'm not really insulting y'all. It's just how it goes.
Have you ever actually heard me do that voice before? It's terrible. So I'm just going to go back to my my regular voice for now.
Oh, man, George, you are part of history this Saturday, and not a lot of people are talking about it because they're focusing on the best of five or the title match or Arcadia King Tech.
And
you are in
should.
the first but you are in the first ever UWA Elite Triple Threat Trios Championship match. 3-on-3-on-3. Yeah, that's a lot of T's. Triple Threat Trios.
That's 3.
Yeah.
That's a lot of T's to pronounce too.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, I've been working on it all week. I still don't think I have it. But from your perspective, you are one of the 3 men that debuted the Trios Championship. You were the first Trios champions for 10 months undefeated. How's it feel to finally, after a year, have an opportunity to get those belts back that feel like they were yours in the first place?
Feels good, man. We went off and did some different things over the last couple months, and we kind of lost focus on what we were originally put together to be. We were a trio originally, and we won that trios tournament, and we, like you said, we held those belts for almost 10 months, went undefeated, and then just some stuff got in the way, and some family issues came up, and we added a member, we lost a member, and now I think after last month, I think we're stronger than ever.
Wow. So what is it, I guess just, off the record, not talking about, Clay and Cousin Vinny. Let's what do you like about working with Clay and Vinny as people, not as, in Kentucky Bred? What do you like about working with them?
I think what I really like, honestly, is that the 3 of us, we get along really well. Outside of the ring, inside the ring, I think we gel really well as a team. I think it took us a while to kind of all get on the same page, but once we did, I think that we started producing some pretty interesting wrestling matches. Not great wrestling matches, but, that was never our style, but we keep it interesting. I think we're entertaining, and I really think that we've kind of come into our own in the last couple, 5-6 months as a unit.
Now, with Luke gone, do you guys think you guys are even stronger?
I think it's too early to tell. To be perfectly honest with you, I think when there was 4 of us, I think we kind of lost focus on what our whole deal was, and now that we're back down to a 3-man unit, we have a lot more cohesiveness. I feel like running 8-man tags or running 4 on, 2-on-2 with 2 Kentucky bred teams, I kind of feel like we lost what we were originally put together to be. And I feel like as a unit now, as a 3-man unit, we are back together stronger than ever. And unfortunately, we had to take care of some family business with Luke, but I think me, Vinny, and Clay, we might be the strongest that we've ever been.
So, off wrestling topic a little bit. You've grown out your hair and your beard recently.
Yeah, don't I look terrible?
No. Fans have taken to saying that you look like Daniel Stern in the Wet Bandits from Home Alone. So, do you feel like now there's an expectation? Do you feel like you can't cut your hair, or would you not anyway?
Well, I don't know. You might have to ask my fiance about that one. We got some important things coming up outside of wrestling, but
oh yeah, fair point. There is that.
I find that my hair and my beard is kind of an extension of just the absolute insanity in my life that goes on day after day, and I don't know. I get looked at kind of funny when I'm walking down the streets, but I don't know. It's an interesting look to myself. I've never actually really grown my hair or beard out this long before. I kind of look like a homeless person, but I think it kind of like keeps people away from me, from talking to me, from bothering me, from asking me for $1 on the street, this and that. So you know what? I'm going to keep going with it until I can't take it anymore.
That's the most sociopathic thing I've ever heard you say in your life. It
Oh,
keeps
don't
people
worry.
away from me. It's
As
great.
time goes on, you'll hear a lot worse from me, Colin. Don't worry about that.
That's true. Oh, man, that's true. So we were talking about the way that you guys wrestle. I actually, full disclosure, about 5-6 days ago, George and I were hanging out with Eric Corvus and a bunch of people having an N64 No Mercy tournament.
Yeah, by the way,
It
I
was
will call
a
your
ton of
ass.
fun.
I will
Yeah,
wish you would.
and George was talking about winning and winning ugly and, like, the value of being on the indies now and not worrying about wrestling pretty. And I was just saying, like, maybe you want to go into that a little bit, like why you guys. I think you guys make a conscious effort to kind of ugly up and dirty up your style a little bit, and I think it lends to you guys being effective character heels. You know, not everybody should do a 450. So I guess expand on what you were saying.
Here's the thing: a guy my size doesn't do 450s. If I wanted to try it, I'd probably fall on my face and really hurt myself. There are so many guys out there on the indie scene right now that can do 450s, that can do the flips, do all the crazy stuff, and that's great. That's absolutely great. I don't need to do that. Clay doesn't need to do that. Vinny doesn't need to do that. I feel like there's something for everyone on the independent scene. There's no right way or wrong way. Well, I shouldn't say there's no right way or wrong way because otherwise people will be getting hurt all the time. There's no real, way to do what you do on the indies. It's all about working on what you are. I've been doing this for 12 years, and for the first 7, I was miserable. I was saddled with guys that didn't know how to work, backyarders that paid to get on shows. I trained. I was trained, and I was trained the right way to do what we do. I feel like every person on the indies should experiment with what works for them. I worked one way. I didn't like it. I changed it up, and the way I think we do it now, I think with a little more seasoning, I think there's no telling what we could do together as a unit. The big crazy drunk brawlers, there's a dime a dozen on the indies. It's all about personality and the character that you create for yourself. But that's just my opinion.
Now,
Did I lose you guys?
No, we're here. Now,
Did you guys just fall asleep with me talking?
I'm going.
No. We do this thing sometimes where JP is so used to me interrupting him and talking over him that he just lays out. So when I stop talking, I'm like, oh, JP will field the next question. He's like, well, no, as soon as I start talking, Colin's just going to jump over me like an asshole. So he just lays out. And then
for the record, I did not say that.
I know, but you thought about it.
Now,
here's the thing, guys. I'm not the most athletic guy in the world. I played sports in high school, but I wasn't great at them. I was on the bowling team and I was on the track team. I threw discus and I threw shot put. I didn't run. But I think that anyone that steps through those ropes, if they put their mind to it, they could create something for themselves that works, that they like doing. What I like doing is I like going out there. I like talking shit, doing, I guess, I wouldn't say the minimal, but at the same time, just making sure I go out there and make sure the fans are entertained. Because there's nothing worse than going out there and having 200 people sitting on their hands and not making noise. That's the absolute worst thing you could ever imagine as a pro wrestler. As long as the fans are entertained, it doesn't matter how you wrestle as far as I'm concerned. And that's why a lot of these guys out there are they're not connecting with the crowd because they're just doing moves. And they're not talking, they're not selling, they're not showing their face, they're not doing anything to connect to a crowd. If you connect with the crowd, it doesn't matter how you wrestle. That's my opinion. You might not like it, other guys might not like it, but that's how I molded my character for Kentucky Bred. That's just how I feel about it. And wrestling is a very subjective sport. You can do a lot of different things different ways, and there's not one right way to do things, and there's not one wrong way to do things. It's very, very interpretive.
Now, going into this match, the first ever, like Colin said before, the first ever 3-on-3-on-3 tag title match, trios title match, I should say. What are your thoughts on your other 6 opponents? The first team being the champions, the Bro Team Pack, and the second team being Chris Powers, Mikey Pacifica, and Cousin Luke.
Well, let's start with the champs first and foremost. I'm a big fan of all 3 of those guys. I don't know, JP, I don't know if you know this, but when I started at UWA, I was a referee. And I was nursing a couple injuries here and there, so I stopped wrestling for a couple years. And I took on a role as a ref, and I got to really see these guys work. I was one of the only, if not the only ref for UWA for a long time. So I got to see Mike Davis kind of like evolve into what he is now. And I got to see TJ Blade just turn into this like terrific wrestler. And Seaway was doing managing and ring announcing when I started there. But my God, he has transformed himself into like a beast. He looks great. And I'm really glad that he took another step to actually become a pro wrestler, because I think the 3 of them together, they're fantastic. They're great champions. All 3 bring something different to the table, and I really like watching them as a unit. As far as Powers and Pacifica and Finn go, it's kind of a mishmash thrown together team, but all 3 guys, they've proved in the past that they can all really put together something really special in the ring. So it should be interesting to kind of put all 9 of our heads together to see what we can come up with, entertain the crowd.
Now, do you think the advantage goes to the champions, to you guys, or to Luke, Mikey, and Chris? Now, I would put it more towards you guys, because you guys were the first ever Trios champions. Well, you, Clay, and Luke. But you guys have the experience factor in my book.
I definitely say that Kentucky Bred should be the favorites in this. We were the first Trios champions. However, from what I've seen of the Bro Team Pack the last 6 or 7 months, these guys are on a roll. They're unstoppable. It's a tough thing to say who could be the winner of this one, but I'd say bet on the bread. Always bet on the bread.
Always bet on bread. Bread is delicious and filling and full of empty
bread
carbs.
So much.
Oh my God, I love
waiting
bread.
for me in the
do.
fridge, you guys. I'm so excited.
So hey, we're gonna get to the rest of the card in a little bit. So I guess last question from each of us. Regardless of what happens in this match, who's somebody just one-on-one in the future, or as a 3-on-3, who's somebody that you haven't really gotten to work a lot with, or you haven't gotten to wrestle at all in UWA that you really would like to get in there with? Just out of curiosity.
Arcadia.
Okay.
Arcadia. I want to get in the ring with Arcadia. I've been wrestling for 12 years, and I would absolutely love to get in the ring with him and learn, and it would be an honor for me, to be perfectly honest with you.
Wow.
All right, and my last question, other than your match, obviously, what match are you most looking forward to seeing as a fan?
Oh boy, that's a good one, because this card is stacked from top to bottom. I'm going to give you 2, because I can't really decide between one or the other. The first one is John Bowes and Sonny Kiss, because complete contrasted style, looks, personality-wise. I think that match is going to steal the show, to be perfectly honest with you. And the other match that I'm really looking forward to is obviously Hedges defending the UWA Elite title against Nicholas K. That's going to be just a fantastic wrestling match. Hedges has really, really, I think, in the last couple of years, just come into his own as like the flag bearer for UWA Elite. And Nick K, I've seen this guy go from a student at ECPW to just becoming the professional wrestler. And I think Nick is really awesome. I love his character. I love everything he does in the ring. He's awesome. So I think that match is going to be a really good, just a really great wrestling match overall.
That's awesome.
And then also our
George.
match.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I've talked to Nolai a dozen people about this, and everybody, I ask them, like, what are the 2-3 matches you're looking forward to on this show? And nobody's given me the same answer twice. It's always a different combination of matches, and I think that's really indicative of what this show is going to be. There's not a weak link on this card.
There's not.
Nope, not at all. And I think it really speaks volumes about UWA. I've always said that UWA Elite has something for literally every type of wrestling fan.
Yes.
So if you're going to check out one show this year, it should be this one. Absolutely.
Awesome.
And I'll be there front row.
Yeah,
I can't wait, JP.
buddy.
I'm so excited.
All right, George.
We are
Thank
going to
you
get
for coming
to,
on and talking.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much for having me. And also, I just want to give a shout-out to Danny DeMonto because I've seen the pictures on Facebook. He looks awesome. JP, you're doing great. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
And I love the show. I listen every week. So keep up the good work all around, you guys. All positive. All positive today.
All right,
I appreciate
George,
you.
Right.
Try not to kill people on the Tappan Zee Bridge.
I don't have to go over that bridge anymore, so fuck that bridge.
Are you serious? When did that start happening? For those of you who don't know, George and I have been friends for a couple of years through UWA, but we really bonded a couple of months ago because my sister lives in Connecticut now, and we bonded over our mutual hatred of the Tappan Zee Bridge and all the construction on it. And I can't tell you, like, I'm
the only time I ever have
happy.
to go over the Tappan Zee is when I visit friends upstate New York, and I live in Harlem now, so I just have to drive
Oh, that's
to Yonkers
right.
to work every day. It's wonderful.
That's right.
I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Harlem is much, much greater than the Tappan Zee Bridge. You trust.
Goddamn right.
George, we'll see you Saturday, all right?
All right, guys. I'll see you soon. I'll see you Saturday, right?
Yeah, Saturday.
Awesome.
Love y'all.
All right, take care.
Love you too, brother. Take it easy.
All right, bye.
Oh, man. What a good guest. Seriously, I enjoy having George on. We should do that more often.
Like, we're at almost the 90-minute mark, and it's going great. And apparently we're going to be getting a surprise guest.
Yeah. Former UWA Elite champion will be calling us at 8:30 to talk about part of UWA Elite versus the World. So let's get to a couple other matches before he calls in, and he'll be discussing the best of 5 with us. No,
Yes.
I don't want you, telemarketer. No.
All right, I actually
That's what
have
I get for
cards
having
pulled up
multiple
right
phone lines in my house. Continue on. What do you want to talk about outside the best of 5?
Outside of the best of 5, I want to talk Arcadia King Tech.
Oh, man, this one. This one is getting so much press, and rightfully so, because of the approach of the two different individuals. Arcadia turning his back on King Tech and Sean McNellis a couple of months ago. And since then, just laser-focused and almost emotionless. Just workmanlike, businesslike, in, arrive, beat a guy up, win, and leave. And he's doing it in like this very cool, cocky way. Cool, not as in like he's a cool guy, but cool as in like ice cold and uncaring. Like he wrestled Damage last month, and when Damage was down, he would just toe kick him right in the face or in the solar plexus or in the back. Just this sense that he does not give a crap about anybody or anything but winning. And King Tech, by contrast, cares too much. He cares too much about UWA and the fans and legacy and what this means and revenge and vengeance. And so Tech is pouring his entire life and heart and soul into this match, and Arcadia is completely dismissive. On paper, and I've said this and I will stand by it, on paper, Arcadia should win this match 10 times out of 10. But wrestling's not done on paper.
No.
And King Tech wants this match with everything in his entire life. I've never seen Tech want something more than to win this one match. So I have no idea what's going to come of this.
Now,
I have no idea.
The thing with Tech is at luck of the draw, he had the chance to win the I Championship. He was on the top rope getting ready to hit the cannonball.
Mm-hmm.
He saw Arcadia, and he lost his focus.
And that's what I'm talking about.
At this show, he doesn't have to look outside of the ring for Arcadia. Arcadia is going to be right across the ring from him. Does on paper, does Tech stand a chance? No, but again, wrestling is done in the ring, not on paper.
Mm-hmm.
Now, King Tech is the smallest dog in the fight, but he's got the biggest fight out of anybody. But Arcadia's done it all. And
I mean, there's no doubt. You have, on one side of the ring, a guy with 15 years experience, former UWA Elite champion, UWA Elite Hall of Famer, the only man in history to win Jersey All Pro Wrestling's Best of the Best light heavyweights twice. No other man has done it, ever. And on the other side of the ring, you have King Tech, who is the greatest UWA Elite wrestler to never hold a singles championship. But is the greatest mental student of the game that the company has ever had. Period. Who has done nothing but wait for this match for 3 months and study and study and study and study. He has refused to come out with us some nights because he has been in watching tape. And I don't know what's going to come of this. I really don't. Like I said, you don't wrestle on paper. But Arcadia versus Tech is going to be a lot more even than people think it is, at least I think. Here's my thing. There's more at stake in this match emotionally for both these guys than you could possibly know. Arcadia has basically gone on record as saying that the UWA is a fraud if he's not the champion. We're getting championship matches because he's the best. What happens if he loses to Tech? And on Tech's side, this is the only match that he could care about right now. He has never been more obsessed with winning a match, ever. Because in his mind, it proves him out to be as good as he thinks he is, the leader of the UWA Elite Army.
Yeah.
What happens if Tech loses? What happens to these men if they lose? Like this is a situation where one of these men is going to be emotionally crippled after this match. And that's going to be an uncomfortable situation to watch as somebody who is friends with both of them. One of them is going to be emotionally crippled for life.
On that note, we're going to take our second break. Find a better open. After the second break, we will have our second guest, and we're not going to reveal who it is until it's time. I know who it is. Colin knows who it is, obviously. So now I'm going to play.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a short break, right? You're going to play that song just to let fans know what's coming up. Our super secret special guest, former UWA Elite champion, will come on and talk about the UWA Elite versus the World Best of 5. After that, for the last 15 minutes of the show, or 10 minutes, we are going to talk about Hedges versus Nicholas K for the UWA Elite Championship. Cool?
Cool. All right. We'll be back in about 2-3 minutes. All right. And we are back. So, we ready to talk this best of 5 or what?
I am very ready. I've never been more ready in my entire life to talk about anything ever, ever.
Ever, ever, ever?
Forever, ever? Forever, ever? Yeah.
God, what song was that from? Like, it's right on the tip
That's
of my
from
tongue.
Miss Jackson by Outkast.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Okay.
Yeah. Man. This best of 5. Not going to lie, I don't care what anybody else has to say about it. I had a hand in putting it together, and I'm really bleeping proud of myself. Granted, most of the legwork was done, as always, by Dave Swan and Eric Corvus. But, yeah, I think he's on. That should be it. So why don't we bring on our super secret special guest? I believe this is his number.
All right,
JP.
well, all right, we will let him introduce himself. I'll bring this caller on.
Do it now.
732, you are on the Power Hour. Who are you, and what can we do for you tonight, sir?
JP, Colin, thank you for having me on tonight. This is the wretched Bose himself.
Oh, shit! I had to put my phone away from my head. I love it. Oh, man. Former UWA Elite champion, Bose. Man, this is a good call. It's good to hear from you in advance of what's going to be a very cool Best of 5 series, UWA Elite versus the World, Volume 2 on Saturday. So listen, Bose, you're a tall, intimidating man. I'm going to give you the option. Would you like to talk about your match first or last?
You know what, Colin? I'd like to talk about it first.
Ooh, let's talk about this then. In what was being billed as an ultimate clash of styles and perhaps the weirdest, most unconventional, and possibly most uncomfortable match in UWA Elite history, Bose versus Sunny Kiss, the Wretched versus the Concrete Rose. Man, oh man. I got to be perfectly honest. I geeked out about this match a little bit. JP is excited. George Flynn was just on the air saying it was his most anticipated match of the show. How do you feel about this match coming up?
I have to tell you, honestly, I'm really looking forward to the match. I really am. I mean, I can't express enough how much I get to represent UWA Elite and take on the world. And I have to say, I'm excited that it's against Sunny Kiss. I've been watching him blow up the independent scene all over the place, and I couldn't be happier for the guy. And this Saturday, he gets to step into the ring with me, and I can guarantee you that he's never stepped into the ring with anybody like me before, and he's going to find out why I am wretched and why UWA Elite is one of the greatest wrestling promotions on the East Coast.
Whew. I'm telling you, I said this the other day. I was breaking down the match with somebody, and they're like, well, what happens if Bose licks his face? What happens if Bose does the thing where he licks Sonny's face? I'm like, I don't know if he will, because Sonny might lick him right back.
Trust me, Colin, I am fully prepared for Sunny Kiss. I have been watching all of his videos, all of his matches, so I am fully prepared for anything that Sunny Kiss is ready to throw at me, and I guarantee you that it will not shake me. I will not.
Do you think he can out-weird you?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Any day of the week, 365 days a year, it doesn't matter. Sunny Kiss cannot out-weird me, and I will prove that on Saturday.
JP, you want to chime in here? I'm dying.
Now, on a side note, while we have on Bose, I'm going to say as much as I love Sunny Kiss, and I love that man dearly, I don't think he has a chance.
Ooh, you love that man? Wait, did you say dearly or daily?
Dearly.
Oh, I thought you said daily. I'm like, man, spoiler alert. I didn't know that.
No. No, my money, if I was a betting man, and as much as I love Sonny, he can go to the air, he can stay on the ground. My money is on Bose.
And
you should make that bet. You should make that bet, JP. You should go and make that bet. And put all the money you have on me this Saturday to kick Sunny Kiss's ass. Because I'm going to tell you something. I'm really pissed off. I'm excited about the match, but I'm also really pissed off because don't forget, I lost the dog collar match to Nicholas K. So he is the one who gets to wrestle Hedges for the UWA Elite Championship, which was my ultimate goal. So let's just say that this Saturday, Sonny Kiss is going to feel the wrath of a pissed-off wretched. I am going to beat him within an inch of his life.
Yikes.
That's why my money is on Bose.
So you can say it's about contrasting styles and who can out-weird who, but when you break it down, I'm 310 pounds and 6 feet 5. I am going to crush him. There is no way in hell Sonny Kiss could stand a chance against me. And he's going to find that out the hard way on Saturday.
Whew. Man, oh man. So listen, I want to deviate a little bit from this match. I was as surprised as anyone when team captain Sean Damage McNellis named you to the team, given your mutual history and generally the fact that you guys have been at each other's throats for 12, 13 years. But I did see it from a business perspective. Putting you on the team gives UWA Elite an increased chance to win. So I think he's smart there. How do you see him, your team captain, SDM, matching up against one of the best that the Tri-State has to offer in Matt McIntosh? How do you see that one breaking down?
Sean is one of the hardest working wrestlers that I've ever met in my entire life. He never gives up. He always keeps pushing forward. And when Dave Swan named him captain of Team UWA Elite, well, everybody just had to sit back and see just exactly what Sean was going to do with that. And I must say that he has put together a team of 5 guys, whether there's personal issues or not. It's about UWA Elite as a whole. So Sean is a genius for picking the 4 guys that he did, because he knows deep in his heart that we are all going to bring everything that we have against the world of independent wrestling. As far as Sean McNellis goes, that completely is up to him. Matt McIntosh is on fire right now. He's one of the greatest in New Jersey. He's one of the greatest on the East Coast. It's going to be tough. But if I know Sean the way I think I do, he's going to give him everything he has, and if not, he'll die trying.
All right.
JP, follow up on that. Do you want to ask about that match, or do you want to move on to another one?
I'm going to move on to another one. And this is the match that I think is too close to call. In one corner, representing UWA Elite, is you have Kyle the Beast, and in the other corner, you have Nico Sozio.
I don't know. When in doubt, my money is on, just because I've known him for 6 years, a lot like I feel about Bose. When it's a 50-50 coin flip, my money's on the guy I know. It's a known entity. You know, Kyle has done some things that have made my jaw hit the floor in the last couple of years. He is an athletic freak of nature.
Yeah.
By the same token, Sozio, former CZW World Heavyweight Champion, 0% slouch. Awesome. Just an awesome striker and worker, underrated match technician, and great mentally as far as his mental acumen in the game. Here's my thing. Flip a coin. I think if these guys wrestled 10 times, Kyle would win 5 and Sozio would win 5. I know that's not really a pick, but that's really how I think this would go. Does home court advantage benefit, quote unquote? Does it benefit Kyle? Maybe, but we shall see. Bose, I know you've been in the ring with Kyle plenty of times. What is it like being in the ring with Kyle the Beast in a high-pressure setting? What do you get out of Kyle in those kinds of matches?
If you are not on the top of your game when you are standing across from Kyle the Beast, he's going to rip you apart, and you won't stand a chance. So you always have to bring your very best against Kyle. I've had many battles with Kyle the Beast in the past, and I've gotten him, and he's gotten me. And I hope that we could have many more battles in the future. And all I know is that So Theo better bring his best, or Kyle will not hesitate to destroy him.
Talking about a guy who's not hesitating to destroy, I've been really intrigued watching the build-up for this match between Joey Adams, the UWA Elite High Champion, and Kevin Bennett, the man I call the King of Buffalo, the remix. These guys have been best friends, legitimate best friends for 8 years, maybe a little bit longer. But Joey has had some very unpleasant things to say about Kevin the last couple of weeks, saying, listen, man, you can say you love me, you can say you're my best friend, but I'm going to wreck you in the ring. Now, Bose, I know you grew up with Tech, and you grew up with Damage, to the point where they called you the Clark 3 for a while. What do you have to do to separate yourself like that emotionally? Back when you guys were a lot closer, when you were friends, you teamed for a while, off and on with some of these guys, but eventually you and Damage feuded over the UWA Elite Championship. You and Tech have gone to war numerous times. What do you have to do in your brain to turn that friendship off and just go to war like that?
There's always a bigger picture, Colin. And for me, with Sean, the bigger picture was the UWA Elite Championship. He had it, and I wanted it. And when you want something bad enough, it doesn't matter what's standing in your way or who's standing in your way. If you want it bad enough, you will do anything to get it. And as far as Tech goes, I've known Tech my entire life, and that's no bullshit. I have known Tech my entire life. I've grown with him. We have been the best of friends. We've been the worst of enemies. And as far as Tech goes, it's tough. It really is. I can't lie, because you say, what do you do to turn it off? And you don't turn it off. You always know that he's been your best friend for your entire life, regardless of whether or not you're fighting or you're not fighting. That's not something that you could just turn off. Wow. So what you have to do is you need to put aside the personal and focus on the business at hand. You never turn off the fact that you've known somebody your whole life, because you can't. It's not possible.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, here's my thing just to follow up on that. Kevin Bennett, champion up in northern New York, 2 straight years ranked in the PWI 500, just a highlight reel of a guy. Just has found success everywhere that he's gone. Joey Adams, it's been a little bit more of an uphill climb. He's always had the potential, but he's only tapped into it lately. Bose, you've liked what you've seen. I know you have. Out of Joey Adams, you've liked this edgier, gives no fucks, attitude coming out of Joey Adams. Do you think he's ready for the test of Kevin Bennett?
Absolutely. And as far as, the whole uncensored thing goes, yeah, Joey Adams gives no fucks right now, and I couldn't be more proud of Joey Adams, because that is the perfect example of somebody that has not had things go their way for the longest time. And did he give up? No. Kept scratching, kept clawing, kept digging. He wanted it. And like I said before, when you want something bad enough, you will do anything to get it. And that is exactly what Joey Adams did. And as far as going into this match with the King of Buffalo, or whatever you want to call him, I've never even heard of this guy. So I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to see him on Saturday, and I'm going to let him know that he's stepping into UWA Elite, a place that he's never been before. And he's going to get a wake-up call like he's never had in his life. Joey Adams is on the top of his fucking game right now. Joey Adams is on the top of his game right now. And he's only going to go higher.
Man.
Mark my words. All
right.
All right,
JP,
and there is one
you got the
more
last
match.
one here.
There is one more match in the best of 5
I love
UWA
this match, by the way.
versus the world. And that's Drake Chambers, former I champion, taking on the Rogue, Anthony Gangone, the current House of Glory Elite champion.
Man, oh, man. I got to tell you, the reason I haven't been calling him the Rogue is because I got very explicit instructions from Kirk and Cannonball that if I call anybody else a Rogue, I got to answer to them. So we're just going with Crusade for Change's House of Glory Elite Champion Anthony Gangone.
Yeah.
We're going to leave out the roguey part. So, I mean, I love this matchup. You got an edgy high flyer in Drake Chambers versus charismatic, chaotic Crusader in, I love alliteration, in Anthony Gangone. Here's the thing that's interesting is that, Bose, I know you represent Team UWA Elite, and you're proud to do so, but Anthony Gangone is the kind of guy that you naturally like as a person. So where are you on this?
I'm, to be honest, a little unfamiliar with Gangone. I've seen Chambers since he's debuted here in UWA Elite. As far as being somebody that I like, I can say that I don't know him, so I can't make that decision just yet. Being
Fair.
As far as somebody that I would like, because I don't like many people, Colin. You know that. Come on. I don't like
That's
many
true.
people, and many people don't like me, and I don't blame them. But as far as the match goes, it's like I've been saying this whole time. UWA Elite brings a fire that nobody else brings. They pour their entire heart onto the canvas of that ring every single time one of them steps into the ring. They leave it all out there. And this Saturday, the world of independent wrestling is going to get a huge wake-up call, because when they challenge UWA Elite, they're going to see that we're the real deal. And they're going to see that we are going to give them everything that we have. As far as Drake Chambers is concerned, I'm not a big fan of Drake Chambers, and I'll tell Drake Chambers that right to his face. I don't give a shit. But when you're on Team UWA Elite, I give a shit, because this is my home. And when you're representing my home, you better bring everything that you have, because if you don't, I'm going to let you know about it. So Drake Chambers, you better bring it on Saturday, and don't disappoint the UWA Elite family.
Man, it gets no realer, does it?
No.
It gets no realer. Bose, it has been a pleasure having you on. We appreciate you greatly, and I appreciate you putting your guts on the line for UWA this Saturday.
Thank you, Colin. Thank you, JP. And also, just one more thing. Nick K, Hedges, I'll be watching.
All right. That's going to be interesting.
Brilliant.
But Bose, thank you for calling in. The pleasure has been all mine for sure.
JP, you keep doing what you're doing, brother. You don't let anyone do anything to stop you from doing what you're doing.
No doubt, man.
Hell
I
yeah.
appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
You have a good
All
night.
right, Buzz. Take care.
Later, Bose.
Bye-bye.
Man, oh, man.
This has been
So we got one more match to talk about.
Yeah.
Just one. And well, I should mention also the Unstoppables defending their tag team championships in a trios match currently slated to be against Jeremiah and Magic and the Oliver Street Express. Also scheduled to appear at UWA Elite, Gavin Glass will be there. It's going to be a hell of a show. We're going to see if the Unstoppables can defend the tag championships that they won at last breath into the summer. This is kind of the threshold right before the Tag Team Combat Cup starts. But now, Hedges Nicholas K, UWA Elite Championship. JP, I've talked about this at length on my podcast, on the UWA Elite All Access podcast.
Cheap plug.
I'm going to shut up. I've said enough. How do you see this breaking down? Do you see Hedges retaining the championship? Do you see Nicholas Cake breaking through? How does this sort out for you?
You see, this one is tough for me because you have a guy like Nicholas K who defeated Bose in a dog collar match, showing that he is willing to do anything to get that title. Then you have Hedges, the man who won the title from, I believe, Brian Brass. So, the man who has defeated all comers. He defeated Jeremiah in a wheelchair match at Luck of the Draw. He defeated Hedges in 3 stages of hell. Like, the man is amazing. He's about 3 months away from the year. As much as this pains me to say this, because I like Hedges.
Mm-hmm.
You wrap a chain around Bose's neck, you're insane. So I'm gonna go Nicolas Cage for the win.
Wow. This is what's interesting to me. This is what's very interesting to me. Is this is the first time since Hedges won the championship in late July of last year that the fans have been polled. This is the first time that the fans have made Hedges the underdog, 52 to 48%. The first time ever. They've made him the favorite going into matches against Bose, against Jeremiah, and Magic, against all comers so far. Corey Dillinger, Joey Adams, the list goes on. They see something in Nicolas Cage here, and I think that it's this streak of madness that you're talking about, this streak of badassery that is what has made Hedges so successful. And I said this on the UWA podcast to Eric Corvus last night. The question is, which man is going to be able to withstand more punishment, and which man is going to be sick enough to dish out more? Because we both know these guys can absorb an unbelievable amount of punishment. And
yes.
We both have seen Nicolas Cage has choked Bose out with a dog collar and a chain. And we've seen Hedges drive Jeremiah head first through a table off the apron. I mean, these guys will do anything and everything. And they're going to have to. And the thing that's kind of awkward for fans is they like both of these guys. And neither one of these guys is going out of their way to establish themselves as an asshole and blah, 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 blah. No, these are two guys that have earned the respect of the fans by being badasses. They've done it their way. They're not trying to be nice guys. They're not going out of their way to really say too much of anything. They're coming out, they're kicking ass, and people are really appreciating that. So you got two guys on hot streaks of their careers. Two guys who have never been better at the same time, in the same place, in the same moment, and there's only one belt. There's only one championship. I don't usually, well, let's call it square. This is a podcast for fans by fans, so I don't usually say shit like this. I don't usually put over title matches like this. I don't. I expect great things out of it. And I have no idea what's going to happen. There are some title matches I have to work really hard to get you to go see. My job is to sell you a show. Make you want to come see UWA Elite on May 7th in South River, New Jersey. I don't have to this show.
No.
Look at the card. You want to go. I don't have to say or do anything to prove to you that this show is the shit. It's great. The card top to bottom is stacked, and the UWA Elite Championship match is befitting of a card this good. So I'm excited. I'm really excited, JP.
I'm excited. The Nerdport Network is going to be in the house.
Work.
I'm gonna be there. Ronnie's going to be there. Deanna's going to be there.
Woohoo! This is excellent. Looking forward to it. I really am looking forward to it. Again, if you need information, if you want to check out this show, UWA Elite versus the World, Volume 2, Saturday, May the 7th, 2016, 6:30 p.m. bell time. at the Holy Trinity Church, 90 Leonardine Avenue in South River, New Jersey. Tickets are still on sale at a discount at uwaelite.com. You can also get them at the door. I would greatly suggest getting there by 5:45, 6 o'clock if you want to get in at the door, because this show will sell out. We will sell out this venue.
And I want to end the show with this. Now, everybody's been saying the hashtag I stand with JP, and I greatly appreciate that. Here's what I want you all to do. I want you all this weekend, I want you guys to go to a local independent wrestling show. Whether if you're in New Jersey, come to South River with us at UWA Elite. If it's next weekend, go, or even go to House of Glory tomorrow night in New York.
Yeah.
If you're in Arizona, go see my friends in Arizona. Go to an independent wrestling show, because they bust their butts to make everybody go home happy. People call me an independent wrestling guru, which, okay, yeah, whatever. I could care less. I like going and having a good time at shows. Obviously, at UWA Elite, I cannot be as obnoxious as I usually am at shows. I do keep it PG. But I'm gonna go there on Saturday, and me and my friend Corey are gonna enjoy a great show. And with that being said, I think it's now time to wrap it up.
It's your world, JP. We're just living in it. Love you, dude. I really, really couldn't say that enough. Keep on doing what you're doing. I stand with JP.
Apparently about 400 people stand with JP, and it is beyond appreciated. But the way to show me your appreciation, go support indie wrestlers. I stand with independent wrestling. Plus, obviously, I can't stand with JP because that would just be... Since I am JP. But this has been a double power hour. This is the longest me and Colin have ever run. As I watch another Miami Heat player get thrown to the ground. But that's neither here nor there. So, Colin, what do you have to plug?
UWA Elite this weekend. Come see us. UWA Elite on Facebook. And come back here next time out on this podcast. I will be giving you so many reasons to check out Change the World Wrestling August 27th. We'll start talking about that next time.
All right. So, as for me, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, at JohnPMayer80. Listen to all the shows on the Nerdport Network. Tuesday nights, Wrestling Debate. Thursday nights, The Power Hour. Sometime over the weekend, you get The Blind Side. And coming soon on Wednesdays, my friend Sean is going to be coming back on air doing his show. So, looking forward to that. So, everybody that's listening, thank you all so very much for the last 48 hours. It means more to me than you all ever know. Again, I want to thank everybody that called in tonight. Danny DeMonto, Georgie Boy, Bose, all the call-ins. Who was the first person that called in?
Danny DeMonto.
No, not DeMonto. The first caller.
Chad from Arizona.
No, not Chad. No, the one...
You're making me do this now? See, this is what happens when you overtalk. When you go past 2 hours, you start talking yourself into corners. My God. John from your Wrestle Pro family called.
John, Chad, and there was one other person.
Man who messaged you on Facebook yesterday.
That was Chad.
No, oh my God, why are you doing this?
We don't have to do it right now. So.
Well.
All right. So, whether it be next week reviewing UWA Elite versus the World Part 2, or whether it be in 2 weeks, we'll talk wrestling and sports. We will see you when we see you. Bye, everybody.